Hello lovely people, welcome to our tarot reading for the week of the 29th of April. Wow, can you believe it? 29th of April. It certainly does not feel like that over here in the UK, I can tell you. It feels much more like the 29th of January. It's that cold. Anyway, I hope you're excited to see what the cards have in store for us today. And for this week, I know I certainly am. There's been lots going on, so let's have a look, shall we? Right, let's see. So we have the Two of Wands, Minor Arcana card. We have Strength, Major Arcana card. And we have the King of Wands, which is a court card. Okay, so nice, exciting little reading here. Right, so, well, let's start at the beginning. That's, I often think, a good place to start. And actually, before I do that, I'm just going to say I love that this Major Arcana card is right here in the middle of these two Wands cards. So Wands cards are very much about, they're very physical, and Wands types of people, they like action and excitement and, you know, their eye is always on the next goal kind of thing. So here we have the Two of Wands, and we have this man, and he's staring out over his kingdom, really, if you like, and he's got a small little ball of the world in his hand. And twos in Wands tend to be twos in tarot tend to be very much about decisions, except actually for the cups, which are about couples, really. But in all the other suits in the tarot, twos are generally speaking around decisions. So the Two of Wands would be about exploring new horizons and taking on new challenges, because that's what Wands people love to do. And this card, it represents the desire to, you know, to expand boundaries and to take bold risks in order to kind of like achieve greater success. And I think that encapsulates this card very, very much. This card, the Two of Wands, is very much a call to action. It's encouraging you to step outside of your comfort zone and to embrace the unknown. And it very much highlights a decision, and that decision would be between staying within your familiar environment that's kind of like no longer serving you, or making a change that holds promise, but it might not actually achieve or deliver your sort of anticipated rewards. So it's quite an interesting little card here. It is very much, because it's a Wands card, it is very much about the decision is about physical action. It's about taking some kind of physical action there. And you know, so it would, when we're looking at sort of physical action, we would be looking at something like, you know, we say moving house or changing your job or maybe taking a trip. It could also be about leaving a relationship that is too restrictive. And I have to tell you, Wands people do not like to be restricted in any way. They're very much free spirits. And if they're in a relationship where their partner is putting limitations on them, then that is a complete anathema to the Wands type of person. And this is why, you know, when something like that happens, you can imagine that his inner world, which is really what this what this little ball is suggesting, representing. So it's like saying his inner world feels too small, and he's keen to pursue adventures and challenges elsewhere. And whereas the low walls would once upon a time have offered security, now they're kind of seen to, or felt to, stifle and to curtail the need to, have real contact with life. And again, in a relationship, if you're in a relationship with a one's person, you really must let that person out. Let them pursue their goals and their dreams and their hobbies and things like that, and let them do these things by themselves, because if a one's person is given the freedom to fly, they will come back. It's when they feel that they're being confined into anything that feels like a cage, then their whole being will become involved with trying to escape that, because one's people definitely need their freedom to grow. And so this card is very much about a decision. Now, this decision is not about the effort of changing position. It's very much the decision preceding the action. So it's that thought process that comes before the actual action. And this also is very typical one's approach to life, that they will put thought into. They are spontaneous, but when it comes to really big decisions like this one, like moving house, moving jobs and things like that, well, then they will put some thought into that. And and in this reading, there certainly is thought put into that, because we're looking at the King of Wands over here on this side. So you see, Wands people, they thrive on challenges. They thrive on tests and challenges, and they thrive on achievable goals ahead. So this is what gives a one's person purpose. And I have to say now, I identify very strongly with this suit of cards in the tarot, because I understand all of these senses of being being allowed the freedom to pursue, and I have so many different interests that I love to be able to do, and if that were restricted then in any way, then that would make me very unhappy and bored. And so I do understand this need for adventure, but the adventure, it doesn't have to be like 100 miles away. It doesn't have to be many thousands of miles away. It can be simply in trying out a new restaurant, or going to a different concert, or just going for a bike ride instead of taking the train all the time. It's about doing different things. And and this is kind of what I mean. I also understand this decision preceding the action, that when it comes to taking action, I know for me personally, there would be a lot of thought gone into what would be the final action for me. So it's a card I particularly, I tend to resonate with all of the Wands cards. So what the other thing that is kind of important that I need to speak about in the Wands card as well, is that they can represent that there is something missing. So the Two of Wands can represent that there's something missing. Now, I mean, that's obvious really in what I'm saying here, isn't it? That they've done something, they've completed something, and now they're ready for the next thing. So that there is that sense of something being missing. And however, it's this card does warn that achievements and acquisitions, they won't be what will finally make you happy. So, you may be happy for a time, but after a while, that sort of achievement, if you like, might become sort of a little bit, hollow. Because happiness is, you need to have happiness, you have to have authentic awareness of your true value. And if that achievement feels hollow, then it's not going to be sustainable. So anything, stuff on the outside, if you like, is not what's going to make you happy. What's going to make you happy is what comes from self-love. So stop thinking like, oh, when I win the lottery, I'll be happy. Or if I won the lottery, I'd be happy. Or when I, get the results of this, I'll be happy. Or when I drop 1 stone, 2 stone, 3 stone, or whatever, then I'll be happy. Happiness just doesn't work like that. Of course, there will be a sense of achievement in those things. And it isn't to say that you shouldn't aim for these things. However, don't make those things the reason, it's almost a little bit like putting off your happiness till then. And so, you do need to reconnect with your real authentic self to find your inner bliss, because you can actually have happiness right now whilst you're working on these challenges, working on these aims. So that's the Two of Wands for the moment. And then we look at strength here. I was going to move on to the King of Wands, but in fact, I think I will. I'll jump over the strength for a moment. So the King of Wands is all about taking bold action. And the court cards it can be either an aspect of yourself, or they can be somebody that would be close to you, that would be helping you in some way, or hindering you if that's the way it's going. So the King of Wands is very much about taking bold action. Now we're looking at the decision-making process here. We're looking at over here, there's this, the King is about taking the bold action and leading with confidence. So while the Two represents the ability to plan and strategize for the long term, the King is about actually taking that bold action. And this is not a time for, say, half-hearted efforts or for wishy-washy decisions. When the King of Wands and the Two of Wands come together in a reading, they demand that you show up fully and that you commit to your goals and, with passion and with purpose. So if you're feeling stuck or uncertain about your path, these cards are a reminder that you do actually have everything you need to succeed. You have the confidence of the King and the courage and the creativity of the King and the Two of Wands here, to blaze a trail that others will follow. But also these two cards together are saying to you, like, don't get too cocky either. Because the King of Wands and the Two of Wands together, they do require, they do represent that you require humility and a willingness to learn from other people. And because, even the most successful leaders need support and guidance from time to time. And actually, most of our successful leaders have guidance and support all of the time. So the King of Wands and the Two of Wands, they are a dynamic duo. And together in a reading, they do signal that a time for growth, a time for innovation, and for decisive action. So they're very, very powerful cards together. Now, if you just look here, then we have strength in the middle. So the strength card is very much saying that you're stronger than the challenges before you. So here you're trying to make a decision. And here you're being told, well, you need to take bold action. So in order to take bold action, you do have to have the strength to do that. And that's an inner strength to do this. It's not about breaking down doors and wielding swords or anything like that. This is very much about inner courage and fortitude. And this card is a reminder that you have that to handle whatever comes your way. So it's all about, when this card comes up, it's all about tapping into your inner power, and it's about using it to overcome obstacles and challenges. Because of course, if you're going to make any change over here, you are going to come across obstacles and challenges. And especially if you're going to be wanting to take bold action, then you need to be aware that there are going to be obstacles and challenges. And this is the King of Wands. I mean, this is a king that has really earned his position. He came up through the ranks, really. He wasn't a king that was just put there. He has really earned his place here. And I think this is one of the reasons why I do love the King of Wands as well, because he's really, really earned his place there. So the Strength card is very much a symbol of self-confidence, which is what the king has. So it's a nice lead here going on here. And it's so self-confidence and resilience. And it's reminding you that you do actually have what it takes to succeed. And this is what these two cards are telling you as well. So the King of Wands association, say, with leadership and with creativity and passion, you know, together, these two cards, they have a really, really amazing impact. Very, very powerful impact, these two. You know, there's together, these are three very powerful cards. So the Strength card represents a time of, like I said, inner conviction. It's of displaying courage despite doubts, because of course you're going to have doubts coming from here. You're trying to make a decision, and so of course there's going to be doubts with that. And what the Strength card is doing, it's saying that, you know, you have the courage despite the doubts, and you can act with courage. But and you know, like I said, like acting with courage isn't always about you know, say like saving somebody from a burning building. You know, there are many forms of inner resolve represented by the Strength card. And it can be as simple as something like, you know, sometimes determination is required just to get out of bed in the morning. And maybe, you know, you need to have the resolve to give up alcohol, or to give up smoking, or to, you know, give up whatever bad habit is holding you back. Now, the lion in this card represents our lower impulses. And our lower impulses are things like fear and anger and bad habits and belligerence and any other sort of out of control behavior that we have. This is really what this line represents. And in a way, this person here is kind of like our higher self, and our higher self is taming the lion. It's but doing it with compassion. We're not beating ourselves up and saying, oh, you bad, rotten person, look what you're doing. It's having compassion for ourselves, and through compassion acquiring the strength to give up those things that are holding us back, or to do things that will keep us strong and forward moving. So this higher self, this is you, this is your higher self, really. And the higher self, your higher self, it appreciates when you focus your passions constructively. And the affinity symbol here, this shows that, say, your higher self, this person, is eternally confronting the lion, eternally confronting these lower impulses. And her strength is kind of part of her now. So again, you know, she's been very gentle here, and the lion has just completely submitted to her. So it's what it's doing. It's saying it has to be your strength. Your strength will become part of you, and it has to be habitually reinforced by confronting and overcoming weaknesses every day. And I have to say, you know, there are some days I get up in the morning and, you know, I think, oh God, I go to CrossFit and I think, oh God, I really don't feel like going to CrossFit today. I really, 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 really don't. And but then I just think, well, you know, I know that I'm going to feel really so much better when I do go. And I remind myself that if I don't go, I'll be miserable for the day and I'll be beating myself up for the day if I don't go. So this is my kind of way of, confronting some of my weaknesses and acknowledging that I don't want to go, but I go anyway. And I have to say, I am always absolutely super delighted that I have gone, and I'm super delighted being there. I love being there. So it's really kind of a bit of a paradox. But what I want to come back to here is like overcoming weakness every day is something that you have to, it's a strength. And strength is not manifested by like large displays of power, as I've said, but by gentle, compassionate, self-directed corrections. And that is in the form of good decisions. So in my case, my good decision is going to CrossFit. And I'm using this as an example because it's strength isn't about, you don't just use it once and then you're done, and you use it once and you've got it. It's a daily routine that becomes much easier with practice and time. And again, that's why I just popped in the CrossFit bit there, because it has to become a daily routine. And I know as well that after a while, I just don't even notice that I'm going. It's practically like washing my teeth. I get up in the morning, I work until such and such an hour, and then I know, oh, it's time for CrossFit, off I go. And it's just part of my day, like it might be somebody else's lunch break. So it does get easier with time and practice. And it isn't it's not guilt-led either. I'm not making myself because I feel guilty about anything. I'm making myself go out of self-love and compassion for myself, because I want to feel better. I want to feel good. I want to feel strong. And so you need to kind of understand that if you do things out of guilt, that's not going to last very, very long. So do whatever you need to do out of self-love and out of compassion. Now I want to go back here to the King of Wands here, because this card is giving us the strength to make here these bold decisions that we're going to make, and they have to be made with passion and with purpose. Now, if you wanted to look, say, in terms of, it doesn't matter in terms of anything in your life. It's a time of growth and innovation, and very much about decisive action. So if you were talking, say, about career and finances, all of these cards together imply a time of great opportunities if you're willing to take the bold action and pursue those goals with passion and with purpose. And it could be, so if you're, say, thinking of starting a new business, like now would be the time to take that leap, because you have the confidence and the creativity and the strategic vision to make it work. If you were, say, moving up the corporate ladder, your hard work and ambition, it will have paid off. And there are probably new opportunities to take on leadership roles and to showcase your abilities. And maybe you're, if you want to say invest in your future, then now is a very good time to make smart strategic investments. And I do want to emphasize that they must be smart strategic investments. That it's okay to take calculated risks, but they that would have potential for long-term gains, or say high returns. It's and again, I want to emphasize about calculated risks. So the King of Wands is very much about success, and it's success resulting from self-discipline. And this brings us back to this card, doesn't it? This whole concept of self-discipline. And by harnessing, this card is telling us that by harnessing our excitement and enthusiasm, say for a goal, that you can actually, you can work tirelessly until that goal is within reach. But if you're working all out of control, then you will, you'll burn out. So there's a lot of self-discipline in this. And the wands, these cards are reminding me very much, say, of the number 5 in terms of numerology, because numerology is also very much about adventure and adaptability and travel and making changes and being smart and confident. But the other side of that would be that they need a number 5 in terms of numerology, would need to learn when to stick around. So it's anyway, it's a awesome little trio of cards this week. So on that note, I'm going to leave you and love you, and I will say to you that if it resonates with you, do leave me a comment below. You can also subscribe to this channel to be notified for the next reading. And if you'd like to know more, you can book a private reading with me. I love to hear from you. And you'll find my email address in the description of the video. So until next week, lovely people, lots of love.